Mr. Damani, very good morning and thank you for your time today. It's a somber morning. How, in your view, should Manmohan Singh be remembered? He says history will remember me more kindly. That rings true today, doesn't it?
Yeah, thank you and good morning. And it is a sad day for all of us who've been following India's economic destiny. I can only paraphrase what Winston Churchill said after World War II about the airmen of the Royal Air Force. Never in the history of human or economic conflict have so many owed so much to so few. I think the boys at North Rock on July 24th, 1991, when they presented the first liberalization budget of independence India, changed the course of Indian history. I think tax collections that time, if I'm not mistaken, direct tax collection were 10-20,000 crores. Today they're 10-12 lakh crores. So the Indian economy grew, the people prospered, a middle class was born. I think we can lay it all to the doorsteps of Manmohan Singh's path-breaking budgets as Indian finance minister in 1991. I think the nation owes him a huge debt of gratitude.
You know, among all of the things, and we've listed out, it seems so strange to reduce a decades-long career to 7, 8, 9, 10 achievements. But the fact that each of these, Mr. Damani, are landmark and has changed the way Indians live. Any type of progress is a continuation. It's like a rally with the baton passed from one government to the other.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the reforms, of course, scrapping the industrial license, Raj is a new word, going against what we call the so-called Hindu rate of growth. You know, letting Indians dream of having a seat at the high table as we now had as a part of a major economy. The more important thing that connects us back to the past. You know, if you recall that Manmohan Singh was the first Prime Minister to set up SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, which is now a major force in Indian capital markets. He was the first one to disinvest PSUs, which have been leading this bull market. So other than so many things in terms of licensing, Raj, and capital gains, taxation, those are some of the issues that still resonate with us today. So, I mean, his contribution will be enormous, and he'll definitely be called the one who actually started India's tryst with destiny. We may have got independence on August 1947, but we got economic independence on July 24th, 1991, when he rose in Parliament and presented his first budget.
Ramesh, good morning. Niraj here. And for a lot of people, Ramesh, some of the past achievements become so tall that it becomes difficult to emulate or better them. And in Mr. Dr. Manmohan Singh's case, what happened in 1991, I'm just, you know, I know you would have spoken about this countless times, but so many of our viewers would not even understand the importance of what happened then, because some of them might not have been even born. But he literally brought the country back from the brink of despair to opening up the country for a number of years and remarkable achievements, right, in 1991. Just a bit of, because you would have looked at that closely, whether you were in the US or India, maybe some memories from there.
On that day in 1991, when electric shocks went through the ring of the stock exchange with his budget. You know, remember before that, India was used to a 3% growth rate, a mantra called self-sufficiency, a mantra called we can't take on the world. And in one stroke of the pen, he changed all of that for us. India then became a competing nation in the world. A direct tax collection, I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember the exact number, but it used to be 10-20,000 crores in that neighborhood. We do that on a good day perhaps today, you know. So extraordinary the amount of changes, the amount of confidence that he brought to the Indian public, and the foreign exchange reserves, which I think were down to 2 weeks or 2,500 crores at that time, and now 650 billion or something in that region. I think that all started with him. He ignited a fire that still lights brightly through India. And you know, I think he might have said that historians will remember more kindly. I think that's definitely true in the economic history of the 1990s up to the present day. He would get a golden chapter in it. I have no doubt about that. And, you know, all of us have made a lot of money in the stock market. The Indian economy is prosperous. And we can see the country change on its axis the day he presented his budget. So there's no question. The background, for Niraj to remember, is that the Berlin Wall had fallen in 1989. And India suddenly was struck by global forces of petroleum prices rising, of imports not being sufficient, foreign exchanges have covered. And by taking these steps, he made India investable one more time. I think there's a huge legacy and a very proud legacy that he has.
Just one last point, Mr. Damani, because you spoke about markets. And between 2004 and 2014, if I'm counting the 10 years of Dr. Manmohan Singh's tenure as Prime Minister, you also had the global financial crisis. And this is something we don't talk about as much. And of course, huge impact on equity markets, the world. But India was, in a sense, relatively shielded, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. To be honest, though, you can divide his tenure into two parts: when he was finance minister and when he was prime minister. And many people have called him sometimes the accidental prime minister because of various historical circumstances that made him the prime minister. And clearly, in the first term, he did some very important work. But I think his legacy cemented between the 91 to 96 period, when he took a minority government under Narasimha Rao and just ramrodded, economic reforms through sometimes an unwilling nation into parliament and into the statutes of a life. And I think that contribution will almost never be forgotten. I think it will be clearly remembered for many, many, many decades to come.